Hi, my name is Ryder, and we're at my home in Ojai, California. At Lulu Bandha is our studio in town. We've been playing a lot with how to start to let the neck participate in the shapes. The jaw and the psoas are intimate friends. The psoas, which connects to the T12, the last thoracic spine, wraps down through the pelvis and connects to the femur, is intimately related to jaw tightness. Okay, so this is the sequence we did this morning. Find your way first towards all fours. Okay. Take the time to spread your fingers super wide. Line your shoulders right over the heels of the palms and exhale, root. The flavor here is, can you start to really root beyond the hands? And you'll know you're getting it because the neck will start to feel softer. Okay? Keep that rooting, tuck the toes under, lift up through the backs of the legs. Find plank pose. Softer in the back of the neck. Keep feeling that rooting. And then eventually press. Start to draw that tailbone back. Come high up onto the balls of the feet. Let the head shake out a little bit. Centers of the thighs draw back. Centers of the shins draw back. And the heels might start to get heavy. Aware of your surroundings. Let that right leg lift high. Come high up onto the ball of that left foot. Let the right leg lift even higher. And then feel into that left heel get heavy. Inhale, let it lift again. Exhale, float the right foot right in between the hands. Take a moment just to connect with your breath. Like, feel the inhale. Exhale. Eventually let that left knee drop down. Now introduce yourself. Inhale, drawing the hips back. Exhale, sink it in. This willingness to move in and out of the posture communicates to the body that it has an exit route. And when the body knows it has an exit route, it's more willing to relax. Okay? Now in this lunge, I like to turn my right foot out to the side. That gives this nice external rotation in the hip, which allows me to sink down a little bit deeper. You may not agree. Okay, first step, once you come into that sunk spot, like let it really sink in, like let it happen. And the more you can soften your jaw, the more you can kind of relax your tongue, the more effective it'll be. Okay, now some of you might just want to stay right here and like stretch through one side of the neck. And like stretch through another side of the neck. Okay? Or you might start to let more of your body get involved, in which case, sinking down through the tailbone, start to let the heart lift. Now I've got long arms, and the way my pelvis is designed, it's really easy for me to keep my fingers on the floor here. Some of you at home might have a dictionary underneath one of your hands or a block. Reach that right hand out to the side, kind of lean onto it. Let the hips sink. And then be aware of the neck. Feel into as you inhale and you start to reach that left arm up. Like play with the reach of the arm. And then every so often like sink again. Now feel the head. You could let the gaze and the head turn towards the hand. Or for some of you, it might feel nice to like let that throat open and let that gaze come towards the hand, but really let it lengthen. Now it's going to make a difference depending on how you're rotating your arm. It's going to feel different if you stretch your arm more forward. Or if you stretch your arm more back. Experiment a little bit with it. Okay, and like again, like pay attention to what you're doing with your head and your neck. Allow it to be active. Again, playing with the rotation, finding those different spots. And then when you feel like you've cooked that enough, allow that left hand to come all the way back towards the earth and like sink in a little bit. Okay, now that was a pretty long hold. So that might have been enough front thigh work for you. But to continue that journey, some of you might draw that hip back, toe, heel that right foot over, moving towards a pigeon, but draw that heel in a little closer than you might need to. Like make it a little easier in this front hip. Kind of wiggle into it so that you have room to lean to the right again. Look back towards that left ankle. Bend that left knee and grab a hold of that foot. Now if you keep your body open like this, it makes it a little easier and more available to start to pull that right heel in. Now this might be enough, just letting it open and letting it pull in. But those of you that might have the kind of body that needs more constraint to notice, to make it more difficult, you can roll and square that left hip forward. As you do that, letting the shoulders roll back, that will make it more intense as you then start to play with drawing that foot in. Soften in the jaw, soften in the face, breathing. Okay, when you feel like you've cooked in that long enough, let it release, and to counterpose all that bend in the low back. Come forward towards pigeon. You might scooch this just a little bit more forward to get a little bit more flavor in the right hip. Hands might walk forward. I like to hang out on my forearms in this one. I like to let my head drop. And sometimes it feels nice to place the thumbs right up in the eye sockets. It's kind of a nice support spot. Just hanging here long enough to kind of counterpose. And then when you feel like you've had enough of that, come back up onto your palms or fingertips. Now we're going to take it back towards revolved dog. Tucking the back toes under. Let that right leg float up. Now kind of feel into this a little bit. Let that hip start to get heavy. Now as that hip and that foot start to get heavy, play as you start to let this right hand get light. It's like slow it down a little bit. Like feel the heart start to open, and then eventually, that foot drops back, that heart opens and lengthen. Let the neck and the head participate, which might mean that they're looking down, which might mean that they're rolling open, breathing. And then from there, more gracefully, let yourself roll all the way back high up onto the balls of that right foot. Let that foot come back down towards the earth. From here, let your knees bend. Let your chest rest back towards your thighs. Palms roll open as you roll back. And then chin into your chest. Let it roll back up. Feel the belly open. And feel the heart open. And shoulders roll back and down, throat face. Let a bit of a